The neighbor who crossed the line. When I first saw the house, I knew it was the one. A weathered clapboard two-story perched on a quiet hill, fringed by pines, with just a glimpse of Willow Lake shimmering in the distance. After 20 years in the Air Force and another decade wrenching in oil refineries, I was ready for silence. No roar of engines, no clatter of machinery, just peace. I paid cash, no mortgage, no ties. The place had character, creaky stairs, stubborn windows, and a back deck that looked like it had hosted one too many whiskey-soaked arguments. I loved it. Fixed it up myself, wired the lights, patched the roof, even planted pear trees out back for the hell of it. I wasn't here to make waves or win friends. I just wanted to live. A week in, I met her. Margaret Hensley, early 60s, all crisp cardigans and a handshake like she was sizing you up for a cage match. She called herself president of the Willow Grove Homeowners Association, spitting the title like it came with a corner office at the Pentagon. Her smile was all teeth, no warmth. "We keep standards here," she said, eyeing my unmowed lawn like it was a federal offense. "Keeps the neighborhood pristine, property values up." I told her my land wasn't in the HOA never would be. Showed her the deed to prove it. Her lips twitched. "Well, we all thrive when everyone follows the rules, even those outside our jurisdiction." I nodded, said I'd think about it, which was code for get lost. She didn't. Flyers started appearing in my mailbox. Community guidelines, neighborhood watch sign up, the joy of conformity. I tossed them. Then things went missing. A pair of leather gloves from the deck. A can of soup from the pantry, just one. I thought I was losing it. Then my heavy-duty extension cord vanished. I tore the house apart. Nothing. The final straw was my welcome mat, a kitschy thing with a grinning bear I'd picked up in Colorado. Gone. Replaced with a stiff, dirt-crusted mat that read "Order begins at home." I hadn't bought it. That night, I locked every door twice, sat in the dark with a flashlight, and waited. Sleep didn't come. I started a log. Not because I was crazy, though I wondered, but because the pieces didn't fit. Day 5, soup gone. Day 8, gloves. Day 12, cord. Day 15, mat swap. Times, weather, details. I wrote it all down. This wasn't random. Someone knew my house, my schedule, and how to slip in and out like a ghost. I upgraded the locks, added a steel strike plate to the back door. The next morning, that door was ajar. No scratches, no pry marks. I'd locked it myself. Across the street, old man Walter was at his mailbox, staring too long. He nodded. I nodded. His eyes lingered on my door. Then I found scratches on my bedroom windowsill, thin, deliberate, like nails. They weren't there yesterday. That night, I didn't just sit with a flashlight. My old Beretta, legal and licensed, kept me company under a blanket. Nothing happened, but the air felt wrong, heavy. I tested a theory. Left the back gate open, stuck a piece of tape across the inside. By morning, the tape was torn. Someone had been through. Under the kitchen sink, swapping a valve, I heard Ida whisper, soft as a breeze. "Careless." A woman's voice. I bolted up, knocked over my wrench, and checked every corner. Empty. Yard clear. I wasn't imagining it. That was enough. I bought camera Shy-Def, night vision audio. One on the deck, one by the basement, two inside. Hardwired to a drive hidden in the garage. No Wi-Fi, no hacks. Evidence, pure and simple. I overheard Margaret at the hardware store, talking to a clerk about those who defy order. Her voice dripped with smugness. "Some think they're above it, but we have ways to enforce structure." I stayed out of sight, but her words burned. That night, I walked every inch of the house, checking vents, windows, and the attic. I wasn't paranoid, I was hunting. Time for bait. I picked 4 items: a wireless speaker, a tactical flashlight, a pocket knife from my service days, and a bottle of bourbon I'd been saving. Each got a GPS tracker, small and precise. Speaker in the den, flashlight by the back door, knife in the garage, bourbon in the pantry. I waited. Third night, my phone pinged at 2 a.m. The flashlight was moving 3 blocks away, inside Willow Grove's gated HOA enclave. Margaret's turf. I pulled the camera footage. At 2:17 a.m., a hooded figure, gloved and lean, slipped onto my deck. They tested the door unlocked. My trap-in walked in. The living room camera caught them. No face, but they moved like they owned the place. Straight to the flashlight, grabbed it, and left. The stride, the stiff arms, the slight limp, it was her. I'd seen it at an HOA meeting I'd grudgingly attended. Margaret, Adjusting a banner, same walk. She upped the ante at a community meeting, smirking as she said, "Lock your pantries, folks. Some leave them wide open." Tempting. My gut twisted. No one knew I'd left that door ajar unless they'd been inside. She was toying with me. Game on. I set a new trap, a polished steel flask with my initials, tracker inside, and a letter from my late father, folded just so. I placed them in the pantry. At 2:38 a.m., the camera caught her again, hood, gloved, surgical. She took both, slipped them into a tote, and headed out. I stepped from the shadows, phone in hand, flashlight blazing. "Stop right there, Margaret." She froze, then turned, calm as a snake. "Henry?" Such a fuss. Cops arrived in minutes, but the older one, Officer Barrett, knew her. "Evening, Ms. Hensley," he said, ignoring the tote. I laid it out. Cameras, GPS, theft. She claimed the flask was hers, loaned to me. Barrett told me to calm down and said they'd take statements. I saw it then, protection. She wasn't just a busybody. She was wired into the system. She hit again. My office was trash drawers open, laptop tampered with. A folder with sensitive refinery blueprints had been moved. A gloved smudge marked the screen. The camera showed her, masked, picking my new lock, rifling files, taking a USB. 3 minutes, in and out. I didn't call the cops. I called a reporter, Dana Torres, who'd been sniffing around HOA scams. I gave her everything. Footage, logs, complaints from neighbors who'd been harassed. Her eyes lit up. "We're tearing this down." The story hit 48 hours later. HOA chief accused of burgling veteran's home. Cops ignored proof. Social media erupted. Protesters swarmed the precinct. Barrett was suspended. A raid on Margaret's house found a hidden basement panella wall of photos, neighbors gardening, kids playing, me unloading groceries. Notes tracked routines, unmowed lawn. Monitor. My section had blueprints, a floor plan, and a chilling list of leverage points. They found keys, dozens, one labeled with my address. The trial was a circus. Margaret faced 9 felonies for misdemeanors. I testified, calm, laying out the thefts, the footage, the night I caught her. Neighbors followed. A nurse fined for unapproved flowers, a dad hit with fake HOA fees. An ex-HOA tech guy exposed her private database, logging medical records and layouts. The jury gasped at her photo wall. Barrett, subpoenaed, admitted to burying reports for her. Guilty, 14 years, 6 without parole. I got $92,000 in damages. Barrett faced obstruction charges. The HOA was disbanded. 3 months later, I put up a sign, private property. No trespassers. A small plaque honored my dad's letter. Neighbors laughed, started talking again. We formed a no HOA pact, just folks looking out for each other. I hosted a barbecue under my pear trees, kids running, music playing. Walter, the quiet neighbor, brought coffee one morning, apologized for staying silent. "Should have spoken up," he said. I told him it wasn't too late. I upgraded security cameras, drones, the works. Part of the settlement funded a workshop, tools, a forge, a mailbox built like a tank. One day, a note appeared inside. "Thank you for fighting. We're safe now." No name, just gratitude. The lake sparkled. My trees bloomed. Laughter filled the air. For the first time, I breathed easily, not from winning, but from peace. What do you think? Have you faced injustice or overreach in your life? Was Margaret a bully or something darker? Should I have handled it differently, maybe with fists instead of cameras? Drop your thoughts below. Let's debate power, justice, and where the line is drawn.